What's up, sports fans? Dude, we still don't really have an official intro.
No,
we don't really have an official outro.
We're just going with the flow. See what happens.
We're flowing, but actually, we're getting really intense. We got all kinds of stats pulled up for you today. We're going to dig pretty deep into what you need to know about baseball that's kind of happened in the past week.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to keep it short and sweet, but we're going to try to dig into some of these topics and get you guys caught up. So first of all, we got players of the week this past week, and the first one really surprised me. Yu Darvish in the National League Player of the Week. Run us through
Yu Darvish?
Yu Darvish and what he's done this past week.
So Yu Darvish this past week first of all, he's only given up 3 hits and 1 walk in 14 innings of pitching. I feel like that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Like that's like 2 starts.
Yeah,
two starts
in a week.
Yeah, and only giving up 3 hits total and 1 walk. And he also, that's pretty much going over like his starts and stuff like that. He's done really well last few starts and striking out 7 in his last outing, and he's threw 94 pitches. So not like a huge amount of strikeouts, but for the most part, like keeping runners off of base paths. Yeah, that's what he's been doing really good at. Yeah, like kind of keeping the ball down, getting into a lot of like ground balls and stuff like that.
And that's what you have to do to succeed as a pitcher in baseball. You have to keep players off base, so they can't score.
Being a good pitcher doesn't mean just striking out everybody. It just means getting the ball to just putting the ball where fielders can easily get the out.
Yeah, I think something that's interesting to note about Yu Darvish. Obviously, he's known for. Maybe this isn't obvious to some of our viewers, but he's known for his pitch arsenal. He's got a 6-pitch arsenal. He can tweak every one of them in game. Just a really talented student of pitching. But something that's kind of been noticeable about this season is after 2020, his cutter usage dropped off dramatically. His cutter usage was up near 40%. And then it dropped to around 34%. And now his cutter usage is back up just a tick. But he's really leaning on his cutter to get those outs.
Both his cutter and fastball are his top 2 pitches. And, I mean, his cutter, it's a pretty solid cutter. It's 87 miles an hour.
Looking at a heat map of where his cutter is landing, it is down and in to left-handed hitters.
And that's what you need.
Down and away to right-handed hitters. There's nothing there. That ball is tailing away from a righty right into a lefty, and cutters are hard to hit.
They are
hard to hit. I mean, Mariano Rivera. He was he was the best closer of all time. And he used the cutter so effectively.
The cutter is definitely it's not. It doesn't have as much movement as a curveball does. But it's the last minute cut that a cutter has. That's why it's called the cutter. But it's hard to hit because it just moves super quickly. You can't really see anything. With the curveball, you can see a little bit of the spin rate. But the cutter, it looks like a fastball until the last minute, and then it just cuts inside for a right-handed hitter.
And the movement on a cutter is so horizontal. It doesn't dive out of the swing path of a hitter, but it avoids hard contact. And we see that in his stats. He's not a huge strikeout guy, but he's keeping people off bases because
he's a lot of ground balls.
He's using that cutter to just a little bit of movement at the very end, loses the meat of the bat, and he can get rollovers, pop flies, and he can be really effective that way. So good for you, Darvish. We haven't really heard much from him this year. He's got 29% K rate. He's got a 3.06 ERA. So he's been doing okay, but definitely not
this past week he's been playing well, and that's why he deserves the
definitely
Player of the Week.
Player of the Week in the American League
is Yordan Alvarez.
Alvarez.
My Astro man.
Yeah.
He's been so this week he's been playing really well. He's led the MLB in runs, home runs, and extra base hits. He's had 10 home runs. No, 5 home runs.
Oh, it's 10 runs.
10 home runs. 10 runs scored, 5 home runs. and 9 extra base hits. And this past Friday, that was his 3 home run game.
3 home run game.
And yeah, he definitely led the offense.
Yeah.
This
Do you
past
think
week for the
it's too
Astros.
late for Yordan Alvarez to make a run for MVP?
I mean,
He's been putting together a solid
he has
profile this
yeah.
year, but he's been struggling a little bit, especially through the month of August.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll have I don't think he'll be able to beat Judge right now. I think he has the chance to be the second most have the second most votes.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard because you have Shohei Ohtani and Judge. And so it's hard to beat both of those guys because Shohei Ohtani is a master at both pitching and hitting. And so it's like both of those combined.
Right.
It's hard to kind of like get past that. And so, but I think if Alvarez continues like this past week, he definitely has a running for the second spot. But it's just hard to beat Judge right now.
Yeah, and he's not far behind Judge in the stats.
He's not, no.
On base plus slugging, OPS, he's about 100 points behind Judge.
Yeah.
And that is a pretty even split. He's about 60 points behind in slugging, and he's about 30 or 40 points behind in on base percentage. But I mean, you look at home runs, he's solid, man. He doesn't. We're gonna get to Aaron Judge here in a minute. He's no Aaron Judge as far as home runs, but he's got more home runs than anybody else in the American League except for Judge. And RBIs, he's also way up there. 93. He's closing in on 100. I imagine if he keeps putting together at bats, keeps putting together games like he's been doing this past week, he'll be at over 100 RBIs in no time at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you think about it, I mean, just looking at the American League leaderboard for RBIs right here, Aaron Judge 127. Yeah. The next closest guy, Jose Ramirez of the Guardians,
he's at like 106 or something like that.
113 right
113,
now.
okay.
113, but he's a whole 14. Is that math right? 14 behind.
Yeah.
And then the next guy behind that is another 14 behind Kyle Tucker of the Astros.
Yeah. He's hitting really well. Well, yeah, he is.
Yeah. So the split between the top of Aaron Judge. 127, and then even the third place guy 99.
Yeah.
There's a very big case for Aaron Judge to take home MVP.
Especially his triple crown. Like he's going for the triple crown.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's he's in third in batting average, and so he'll have to get a lot of hits this next couple weeks. But he's leading in RBIs and home runs, and so if he can get up his batting average, then he definitely has he's a contender for that.
Yeah. He is not far behind in batting average.
Is Freddie Freeman? Freddie Freeman, is he number one?
Well, in the American League, he's
Freddie Freeman's
he's
national,
1 point behind Arez.
Okay.
Is that how you say his name? On the Twins, Luis Arez. Arez has 316 batting average. And Judge has, Arez has 317 batting average. Aaron Judge right behind at 316. So that is a tight race. And I think right now, as we're looking at it, Aaron Judge has a better chance at the Triple Crown than Goldschmidt does. And we talked a few weeks ago about how Goldschmidt was so close.
Yeah.
I think Kyle Schwarber is going to be the biggest barrier there.
He's
a few home runs ahead.
Yeah.
A few home runs ahead of Goldschmidt.
I don't think Goldschmidt is first place in any of the three right now.
I don't think so.
I think he's like top 3 in all of them.
Yes.
And maybe 2 in one of them.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's number 1 in any of them. And so it's going to be hard for him to get all 3.
Right.
And so, he'll have to work a lot.
So we got Schwarber is leading National League in home runs. Freddie Freeman on the Dodgers is leading in batting average. And Pete Alonso is in RBI. But Paul Goldschmidt is very close to the top in all of those. He's second in average, second in RBI.
Yeah.
He's only 2 behind the second place guy in home runs, but I don't think he's going to get there. Aaron Judge, I'll tell you what. If Aaron Judge brings home a Triple Crown, this may be the most influential season of any player, I'm going to argue, in the past decade.
Past decade?
as far as the implications for his contract, the implications for his team, who has really struggled in the second half, and their postseason chances. Look at the Yankees team right now without Aaron Judge.
Oh, yeah.
It's bleak.
It's not complete.
No.
And so,
he's producing so much for them, and he's taken them a long way. So he's putting together quite a season, and he's almost at Roger Maris's record
of
62. 61.
Is it 61? Oh, he has to beat it at 62. Okay.
Right. He needs 62 home runs to beat Roger Maris's record. He's right now at 59. 59 home runs. Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
So he needs 3 more.
He'll get it.
Yeah. He will.
But
it's coming down to the wire. We were talking earlier today about how many games there's left in the season.
14? Is that how many we 14?
Yeah, I think you said 17?
17?
Okay. Yeah. Only 17 games left in the season. Some of these guys who are chasing big milestones, Aaron Judge being the leading, one of the most notable. We've been talking a lot about Albert Pujols. Can't wait for him to get to 700. But the time is running short.
It is.
And some of these guys got to get on it.
Yeah. I think they'll get it, but I feel like it's going to be the pressure that maybe hurts them the most if they're I don't think they're MLB players. The pressure shouldn't affect them, but it could. And so
definitely. Definitely. But I mean, hey, Aaron Judge has handled pressure well. His whole career. So, I want to take just a brief second to talk about the Dodgers. I don't think we were planning on bringing them up, but I was looking at a graph earlier today of the run differentials of all the different teams in Major League Baseball. And if you ever get a chance, it's a really interesting graph to look at because it clearly delineates the top dogs from the bottom feeders. At the bottom, Pirates and Nationals. Way down at the bottom. At the top, the Dodgers are so far ahead of everybody else. It's really absurd.
Do you have the same number that I do? Is it 329?
329. 329. So that means the Dodgers throughout the course of the season have scored 329 more runs than their opponents have. And I think there's 2 components of that too. Obviously, you have to score a lot of runs, but you also have to
make sure that the other team doesn't score a lot of runs. So your defense has to be in.
Exactly. So their pitching has to be on. But I think the Dodgers' their main benefit or their main strength is their offense.
I think so. Yeah.
Because there's a number of other really good pitching staffs. In baseball and even in their league. I think the Astros comes to mind as one of the strongest pitching staffs in baseball right now.
And we're top, and we're third. And so
in run differential.
And so but I think run differential. I think the offense has a little bit more to do with it than the pitching, a little bit, but it definitely pitching helps tremendously.
Yeah, there's a minimum amount of runs you can allow, and that's 0. But there's no limit to how many runs you can score. I mean, we just saw earlier this season the Blue Jays absolutely unleash on the Red Sox. 29 runs in one game. So stuff like that can happen, and that's the kind of thing that'll really screw up a team's run differential if they get outscored by 20 odd points. Crazy.
Well, the Dodgers in run differential, they've have a run differential of 11 in the last 3 games.
The last 3 games alone?
Last 3 games alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's take a look quickly at the National League wild card race because some things recently have shifted in a big way. First of all, the Padres seem to be coming into their own. Second of all, the Phillies' chances of making the World Series have increased. And thirdly, the Brewers might actually have a shot.
The Phillies have...
Here's why I say that.
Okay.
So, an overview of what's been happening in the past week in the National League wildcard race. The Phillies have been tanking. Not hard, but they've been playing good teams. They got swept by the Braves. The Padres, who have the Padres been playing? Go ahead and look up who the Padres have been playing. The Padres have been doing pretty well. They have won their 2 of their last 3. 2 of their last 3 games they've won.
Padres are playing the Braves. No. That was the Padres are playing the Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
So they're taking advantage
Yeah.
of the opportunity given them. But they're doing well. They're capitalizing on that. And so are the Brewers. The Brewers lost their past game, but the Padres are making some gains. But now, here's how that increases, in my mind, the Phillies' chances at the postseason. Previously, the Phillies, as the second place wild card team, would have had to play against the Braves, who are the number 1 seed in the wild card. And then if they win against the Braves, they have to play against the Dodgers, who are the number 1 overall seed. How it is set up right now is the Phillies will play the Cardinals. And if they beat the Cardinals in the wild card series, then they go on to play against the Mets.
And I see where you're coming from on looking at this. The Braves have been playing much better than the Cardinals have.
Yes.
And they have a record of they're ahead 5 games than the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And so I can see that the Phillies because of how the postseason is laid out, it's kind of it's not fully not fair in a way, but there's definitely a benefit to have if you have one really bad division leader to being the worst wild card.
So that's definitely a big factor of this new wildcard setup is it might be now obviously no team is ever trying to lose because Milwaukee is close on their heels
they're 2
and
games
so if
back.
you lose too many games you're out, you don't get a shot, but there is a bit of an advantage to being in that 3rd spot, so you get to play against perhaps a worse team. And I would say the Braves right now are better than the Mets. I don't know if the stats back that up. Let us know your opinions in the comments below.
I think that could be true. I know the Braves have lost some key players in the past week. I know Ozzy Albies broke his finger.
Yes.
And so he's out.
Yes.
But I think the rest of their team is solid enough where I think with who the Mets have, they definitely will be they're close. I don't know which one is a little bit better than the other, but the Braves definitely have lost a couple players, but the rest of their team is making up for it. And
they're definitely very close, and the leaderboard reflects that. And the standings reflect that because the Braves are so close to the Mets in the National League East standings. Is it really 2 games
maybe it's
back?
1.
I think
it's
it's 1.
I'm
pretty sure
there are
it's
two wins behind, but 1 loss or no losses behind. So
so it is. The Braves and the Mets are both very good players. But let's pause on that for a little bit because Ozzy Albies, he's out all season. And it's just one of those tragic stories of you come back on this
2 games after
second game back. He's diving into second base because he's a hustler. So the play goes, it's a fly ball
to right field.
To right field. Or I believe it's right center. The center fielder goes over, catches the ball. Ozzy's on first.
He's on first. He tries to tag.
He tags up going to second, which is an aggressive play.
It is.
He's fast, so he can take it. But just slides in wrong. And even with the sliding mitt, he breaks his pinky. Which is really big hit for the Braves because
he's one of their top players.
Right. Obviously, they've come this far without him. So they're okay. But boy, would they have loved to have him going down the stretch. What do you think will be the most if there was a team that pulled through with an upset victory and went all the way, what team do you have your money on for an underdog taking it all the way into the postseason?
I'm gonna have to say that's tough. Probably I can see Toronto or Tampa Bay, but at the same are you counting wild cards teams making it all the way?
Just underdog teams.
Underdogs.
So I would consider the Guardians an underdog.
Okay.
Even though they're not a wild
even though
card
they're a
team.
division leader.
They're a
I don't
division
think
leader,
I don't
but
think
they're an
the
underdog.
I don't think the Guardians will make it. I think it's going to be like Toronto or Tampa Bay or the Braves have a really good record, but because they're behind the Mets, they're still like in the wild card. I think that they would make a fair they could definitely make it all the way.
Yeah.
Nobody like I don't think Seattle or I don't think Philly will make it to the World Series.
I can see that.
I don't think the Phillies can beat the Braves and the Dodgers.
Right.
And so
they may be able to beat the Cardinals.
Yes.
I think that'll be a close and exciting series.
Yeah.
And they could be competitive if they're rolling on all cylinders.
Yeah.
They could be competitive against the Mets. But then you got to go through whoever wins the AL.
Yeah.
And that's going to be tough. But I like how you brought up the Blue Jays because I like the Blue Jays mojo. I like what they have going on there in Toronto.
A lot of young guys.
Really. And they have a lot of talented players.
Yes, yeah.
George Springer, obviously Guerrero Jr.
Yeah, they got
Bo Bichette.
They got I don't know if Biggio is playing anymore, but I know he was one of like
Kevin
Biggio. Yeah, he was playing really well at the beginning half of the season. I forgot. I haven't heard.
But they also have good pitching too.
They do.
So yeah, I think that would be cool to see them go far, take it. Definitely, you wouldn't want to see them make it past the Astros. But
no.
I mean, hey,
I don't think they will. But
you got to cheer for an underdog sometime.
Not when they're playing my team. But if they beat the Astros, I will be cheering for the Blue Jays.
Yeah. Let us know. Are you an underdog type person, or do you just want the status quo? That's what we want to know. I'm the type of guy who I want the best team to win.
Okay.
I don't want the underdog to win.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, would you rather have? Well, okay, so I definitely would rather have an underdog win. Well, depends on who the underdog is. If it's like if you know that they're only winning games by like because the other team is injured, or if it's like not based on them playing better, just by random things happening.
Yeah,
I don't think they should win. But if it's like I can see like looking at the NL, and I know you're a Phillies fan,
right?
But I think if the Phillies had, I would cheer for the Phillies.
Yeah.
Rather than any of these other teams, except for the Cardinals. But if the
Cardinals
were in
the Cardinals jersey.
Yeah. But it depends on who's else in the postseason, because if your own team is in the postseason, you're not going to root for the underdog or the top team. I don't want the Dodgers to win, even though they're the top team and they're the best team in baseball. And so it's just kind of what you're in it for. Are you in it to watch good baseball, or are you in it to watch your team win?
I'm in it to watch the best team win.
Okay. Yeah.
Unless it's the Dodgers. In that case, no. I would be okay with the Yankees winning.
You would? That's interesting.
I wouldn't prefer it, but I would be okay with it.
Okay.
Once they get beaten by the Astros, if they get beaten by the Astros, I would be okay with them winning the World Series.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just not a fan of the underdog.
Yeah.
I like to have what's expected. You know? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anyway, some other quick updates just to keep you rolling, keep you filled with baseball over the weekend.
We got
J-Rod is injured.
That's right. Yeah.
Julio Rodriguez is injured. Some other injury updates. Eugenio Suarez, he's still on the IL. No expected return date. And that's pretty much the main people who are injured. Verlander's finally back.
Yeah.
And what a start he had, by the way.
Yeah.
He threw 79 pitches, 52 strikes, and he was lights out for 5 innings. They took him out early so that he could just kind of get into the swing of things slowly. But he continues to put up postseason Cy Young numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One other kind of tidbit I want to share
Mm-hmm.
because I'm just personal to this.
Go for it.
So we talked in our very first episode.
Yeah.
If you missed the first episode, go back and watch that.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Noah Syndergaard.
We did.
Because the Phillies picked up Noah Syndergaard from the Angels.
Yeah.
And I made the bold statement. that that Syndergaard was not performing well.
Yeah.
And guess what? Noah Syndergaard is no longer a Phillies starter.
Wait, what?
Noah Syndergaard is no
I didn't
longer
know
a
that.
Phillies starter.
When was this announced?
He's been moved to the bullpen. See, I was right, okay? I was right.
Is he what kind of pitcher is he in the bullpen? Is he a reliever, or is he like
He's a utility
okay.
long man,
Okay, so like
type player.
like a 5, 6, and 7
like a setup guy.
Yeah.
He's a setup guy. Obviously, that gives the Phillies a lot of versatility in like bullpen options going into the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
But Zach Wheeler got injured, so they brought up Bailey Falter.
Okay.
And Bailey Falter has been killing it.
Mm-hmm.
He has been killing it. He's 5 wins, 1 loss. His ERA is low. He's been pitching well against good teams. And Noah Syndergaard has not. So it's really kind of a cool story of a young guy getting an opportunity, making it count, coming through for his team, and then getting the nod from the manager.
Yeah.
Rob Thompson decided to go with him down the postseason stretch. So now Zach Wheeler's coming back onto the rotation, and it's going to be Nola, Wheeler, and Gibson, and Bailey Falter.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of a little thing I wanted to share.
Well, good for them.
It's good for him. He's a young guy coming up.
Yeah.
And he's gonna get. He earned that spot.
He did.
And he earned that spot.
Yeah.
I don't. I just wanted to kind of validate myself a little bit because
You were right.
I was right.
You were right.
And my brother, who on the internet made a comment that you can go look at.
He said that you were wrong.
He said that was wrong. Just saying. I'm not. Or maybe he texted me. I don't know. I'm really calling him out now. Hearts for you. Okay. All right, guys. So that's our kind of weekly rundown.
Yeah.
We're keeping it short because we want you guys to stay engaged and we want to give you the best information in the best format possible. If you have any suggestions, let us know down below in the comments, right below the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you made it to the end of the video, we really appreciate you. And so we have a promo code just for you, guys who made it here. You can get free tickets to a World Series game, every one of you.
Just drop a like and a comment, and we'll select a couple of y'all.
We're kidding.
And,
it's all a lie. It's a big sham.
We are poor.
But yeah, we want to give you relevant information. Yeah. We want to give you actual real stats and not just fill you with nonsense for an hour.
Yeah,
so we're going to dip. Have a great week.
See y'all.